Fatigue.
Hello, welcome to Palace News. Today, Lou and I will be talking about our loanees, how they're doing, football, their future, etc. Before we get started, don't forget to drop a like if you can, subscribe. Doesn't stream and potential take together off.
Your audio is going a bit unks.
Is it?
That's better there.
Hold on, let me just change the sorry, so if you're joining the stream, please hit the like button. Thank you for your support. Lou and I were talking about the loans. But Lou, you talking about the under 21. Put that in there right about what and what do
Yeah, he's starting today against France. It probably should be a better game than the first team with the lineups and the depth that France have. They got Ekatike up front. They've got Tiana Barry, who our very own scout, was very big on us signing. They've got some good players, man. It's probably I'd probably say the two biggest. Obviously, Spain have got a great talent pool, but in terms of mass production of quality players, I don't think anyone produces more than England and France.
Nah, you're right. It should be a good game. I mean, I can't find a team over here either for it. If I can, I'll watch it. Actually, it might be on the.
I think it might be on YouTube.
Channel.
It might be on
The
YouTube. Yeah.
Channel. Yeah, check that out later. So again, thanks for joining us. Animals in the chat, Damo's in the chat, and Tim's in the chat. So let's get started. Actually, I know Lou can't stay on for long. Let's talk about our loanees. So, quick question to you, Lou, before we get started. Do you have any idea maybe about a loan right now? I was shocked.
I think maybe nine.
9. It's actually if you don't call Ozo, who's injured, we have 17 players out on loan.
17.
Wow. 17. I'm gonna go through most of them.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking academy loans.
Right. So you have to include obviously players like Luke Plonge, Ahamada, Edward. So actually, let's get into it because some of the loans are actually pretty good. Others not so good. So I'm gonna share screen first. I've got some graphics here, make it a little bit easier. So let's start with this. So let me move this up a little bit. So our key loanees right now are players such as Joe Whitworth, Owen Goodman, Danny Imre, Teo Adamarola, Jezrek Saki, Killian Phillips, Jemiah Omalu, and Asher Agbenoni. We'll touch on a few more than Nels, but let's just start with the first one, which is Joe Whitworth, right here.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe is currently alone at Exeter City, which is in League One. They are 16th in the league on 44 points, 12 points off relegation, 17 points off of 6th place. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get promoted. But for him, it's been a great loan so far. This year so far, Louis got 14 clean sheets. Has one in the FA Cup also. He just turned 21, by the way, in February. This is his first professional loan. If you haven't seen it, take a look at the there's a Palace YouTube video on Whitworth, Goodman, and Raksaki. Check it out. It's about 8-9 minutes long. Talk about his loan. Some highlights of his loan so far, Louis. The penalty shootout loss. I'm sure you watched that game against Forest that Monday night. Save percentage is at 67.9%. His pass accuracy is at 69.7%. He's very good with his feet, as people know. As a comparative purposes, Louis, Henderson's save percentage is 69% compared to Joe's 67. No, sorry, 70.5%. But check out the difference in their passing accuracy. As I said, Whitworth is 69.7 and Henderson only 57.8. So your thoughts on Joe Whitworth as a goalkeeper?
We've had a few debates about Joe Whitworth. I think he's more of a modern goalkeeper. I think he's got like a similar playing style to Jordan Pickford. Really good.
Definitely.
Is he left-footed? Is he left-footed as well?
He's actually two-footed, but I think he's
he's
predominantly very two-footed.
I think he lacks a physical presence. I don't know how tall he's going to get. He's got, I think Gary Caldwell's the Exeter manager. Is that it? So
he is. Yep, he is. Yep.
Was solid Premier League defender. So I think they build their team on clean sheets. I mean, Exeter mid-table is good for them because they've been in League Two for a long time. I think they get promoted last year or the year before.
Year before.
Yeah, so they're just stabilising themselves. And to get out of League One is quite tough because you've got big teams dropping out like Birmingham, you've got Wrexham, Charlton. These are all teams, championship level teams, Bolton.
Right.
So it's hard to get out of that league. You kind of need a mixture of signing really good non-league players like Wickham did in Kone. I think he's the top scorer in League One.
Right. Yeah.
Coming from the Essex Senior League. and then with a combination of really good loans from the Premier League. I think he's done really well. I don't know what his ceiling is. Me personally, I wouldn't expect him to play for Palace for a long time in the Premier League. But yeah, it's a good loan.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're going to need a couple more loans. I mean, you follow football really well. You know that goalies take longer to mature, and usually even our current goalie Henderson had like 3 or 4 loans from Man United before he made it, in the Premier League. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd like to see him make it at some point because he's padded through and through. If you watch anything on him, he's sported as a kid. He very much understands the Brighton, for instance, the Brighton rivalry, etc. So he played actually his senior appearance was against Brighton. Remember under Vieira?
Yeah. It was so funny. I remember that day when we was traveling, and there was like a rumor came from Facebook that he was starting, and no one believed it. Then it was tough because then he played the Arsenal game after as well.
Yeah, he got bad in both of them, but he played well. I thought the Brighton game played better. I think Arsenal was just a bridge too far, just way too good away game, top 4 side. It was too much for him. So that's Joe Whitworth. Again, if you have any comments about any of the players, put them in the chat. I'll bring them up on the screen. If you have any questions about them, as Spiritual said, future number 1. I'm not really sure if Spiritual will be nice. It will be a great story, but
I think Henderson probably is our goalkeeper for the next 5. The way it looks now, the way he's settled, from Henderson's bounced around from Forest to Sheffield United. When a goalie finds a place where they're loved and they can see themselves as a number 1 for the long-term future. Plus, he's England's number 2, and I don't think Henderson. As long as Palace are in the Premier League, I think even if they dropped out, I think Henderson's the number 1 for the foreseeable future. Especially when you invested 15-20 million into him.
Got you. So there's the reason he's Exeter kit. That's actually a nice, decent looking goalie kit. I'm not gonna lie to you, I like that kit. Next. Owen Goodman. Owen Goodman is currently on loan at AFC Wimbledon, having a tremendous season. This is his 2nd professional loan. Last year, help me out. Where was he last year? He was in League 2.
Colchester.
Thank you, Colchester, right. Yep, Colchester, right. Also 21 years old, but turns 22 November. Wimbledon are 3rd in League 2. Very much in the promotion race. 37 matches so far for them. He has 18 clean sheets, 20 overall if you include the cup competitions. Conceded only 26 goals so far after facing 106 shots. And just comparatively speaking, his save percentage, I mentioned before that Whitworth was 67.9. Owen Goodman is 74.5%. And as far as kicking, he has an accuracy of passing of 48.2, which is not as good as Whitworth or even Henderson, which is 57.8. And long balls is 32.8. So it's actually better with long balls than for instance, than Henderson. But I like him as a keeper, taller than Whitworth. Again, 2nd loan. But what are your thoughts on Owen Goodman's future or even present?
This is someone I can see maybe having a future. I'm no goalie expert. I think goalkeeping is completely different to outfield. But he looks like aesthetically being 6 foot plus, commanding do it 2nd loan. He just looks like he's got the physical presence to play at a higher level. I don't really know how good he is with his feet. I think if Wimbledon get promoted, he could probably get himself a championship loan next season.
No, I think that's very true. I mean, again, he's also part of that Loney videos that Palace did. If you get a chance, check it out. He seems very happy there. He can live from home because he's not far to get to Wimbledon, etc. But it's been a good loan for him so far this year. So hopefully he'll continue to do well.
Mm-hmm.
Next, currently injured but doing really well. Danny Imre. He's an AFC,
aka D.
That was you, not me. D. When you watch the video, that was Louis that said that, not me. They are kind of similar. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know.
except for the tattoos, but I'm not gonna get into that. Right wing back, 21 years old, turns 22 this July. Right now, Bromley are first year ever in the Football League. They're 11th in the league, 6 points off of Colchester in 7th. So they have actually a chance to push for promotion, which would be mad for them to get promotion in their first year back. Played 30 matches, 29 starts, has 1 goal, 5 assists. Stat-wise, created 34 chances this year, 60% passing accuracy, which is not great for a wing-back, but I'm going to compare him to you-know-who in a minute, Mr. Danny Munoz, just for comparative. Not because I'm comparing him to as a player, just as a stat-wise. He has 33.7% long ball accuracy. So compared to Munoz has 3 goals, 4 assists, but his passing accuracy is 74.4. So obviously, Imre has a lot to do on the passing. But chance to create, again, different league. But Munoz created 33 chances compared to Danny's 34. So it's comparable. Again, leagues aren't comparable, but just the amount of chances created, obviously. So I think he's got a chance to do something. I'd love to see him back up Munoz next season. But what are your thoughts on Danny Imre, Louis?
I like his style of play. He's come through the ranks of non-league, so he's a late bloomer. I would like to see him have a chance in pre-season and see how Glasner's season fitting in. As much as we want players to transition into the first team, also we need to be able to sell players for pure profit. So
yeah, good point.
If he has a really good loan, maybe play him in the pre-season, and then you can get maybe upwards. I think how much did Wickham bid for him? Like 900 grand or something like that, or 500 grand. But if you can get a million for him, or 750k, I think on the profit sheet, on the PSR sheet, it's much more than that.
Right. It's a good point. Yeah. So he does. And he's currently injured, but I think he'll be back in the next couple of weeks. So good luck to him the rest of the season, because again, Bromley have a chance to get into playoffs, which would be phenomenal for us.
It's quite demanding playing Saturday, Tuesday, especially if you haven't done it.
It really, really is. So I got to give him credit, because even though he did come from a non-league side to Palace, he hasn't really played men's football on a regular basis.
I think he was on loan at Chelmsford.
It was Chelmsford, yep. Chelmsford City, right? So yeah, way back when. So next, a player I really rate, but hasn't really had an opportunity due to, I'm not really sure what. Whoops, get that out of the way. There he is, Teo Adamarola. Currently on loan at Bradford City. Again, he's a left wing back. He is also 21, turns 22 in November. I guess he and Emery about the same age. Yeah, both 2003. So, yep. Currently, Bradford are second in the league, 3 points off of Walsall in first. So they have a great chance to get promoted out of the league. 7 matches so far. He just got there. I'll talk about why in a moment. He has 1 assist, but he's had 4 consecutive starts. And you sent me the stats. I'll share it with the viewers. Since making his debut versus Newport in February, only one League 2 player has averaged more tackles per 90 than Teo has, which is 3.66 per 90. He also ranks third for dribbles attempted, 4.66, and 6th among chances created. So he's having tremendous start to his career at Bradford. Those who don't know, he was at Stockport earlier this season, got injured by a Bristol Rovers player in pre-season. So when he made 10 starts, had 1 assist. So for that reason was sent back to Palace, and then he's doing really well at Bradford. But I really like him as a left wing back option next season. It's make or break for him, for me. But what are your thoughts on Teo?
I think he goes into the Danny Imre category. I think the Premier League is a different kettle of fish. And normally, if you're good enough, you don't really slip out. You don't go down to League Two. But again, I think he's one.
Fair enough.
I think he's one that if Bradford get promoted, I've already seen that a lot of Bradford players, all the Bradford fans want to keep him.
Fans, they love him. Yeah.
I think it's a great club to be at. They're a big club. If you know your football, back in the 1999s, 2000s, they were in the Premier League.
They were mad.
We played them all the time in the Championship, Old Division 1. Great stadium, really big stadium. Really good club. I like Bradford as a club.
So, question:
I think they've been stuck in League Two for too long. Definitely, I would like to see them.
So, question: would you loan him out again next season? I don't think his contract ends, or would you sign him up to a contract longer and just keep him in the system, or just sell him outright?
I think it's time to sell a lot of the players. I think it's time.
Right.
I think it's time to maybe sell 5, 6, 7 of them and see how much money they can accumulate. And then this, I watched your UNT's academy, right? Review of the under 18s and 21s, and there's a new crop coming through. So I think it's time these lot moved on, and we got some cash for them. And we just like start fresh again.
I think you're right. We're going to go through quite a few players in a minute, and I think I'm agree with you with a few of them. That probably at their age where they haven't made it with Palace. Why not just get the money and then move on? Because you're right, there are quite a few really, really talented youngsters coming through that might be blocking the pathway for. But again, let's see. So next, probably the highest profile loanee out. That would be Mr. Jez Rak-Sakyi. And I don't know why the picture didn't come up. It's okay. This is good enough. So Jez is at Sheffield United. They are currently going for promotion big time. Let me just pull up the stats here. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Jez is 22, turns 23 in October. Again, Sheffield United are second in the championship on 80 points. Same amount of points as first placed Leeds. It's going to be a battle, by the way, between Leeds. I know you love them, by the way, Louis. Leeds. Leeds Burnley, Sheffield United. I know you.
Honestly, chat. They're up there. There's a few clubs I hate. One's Leeds, right. Chelsea, United. But yeah, just what they stand for. Just don't like them as a club. I don't like their chance. I think they're just a horrible club. Iconic club. I give it to them.
They're a big club. Historically massive.
I always think these clubs they're on this high horse about how big they are, but you're one club city. Same as Newcastle. Yeah. It's Sunderland. You're one club city. It's like you have the whole population of the city supports you. Of course, you're going to be big. Whereas Palace are sharing it. How many clubs are in London? Let alone South London. Let alone South East London.
Exactly. Fair enough. Yeah. So here is
I do like Sheffield United though. I do like Sheffield United. I like their ground. I like they're one of the oldest teams. Sheffield. I like the Still Derby.
Yeah, Derby. Yeah, it's another big historical.
Yeah, club. I remember. Quick flashback to the one time I've been at Sheffield United was the 03-04 season when we got promoted and we beat them 3-0 at their ground. I think it was Popovic. Maybe AJ and Routledge. I can't remember, but that was when we got promoted that season. That was like, okay, yeah, this might be on. I remember it. It's a proper iconic ground, Sheffield United.
Yeah, it is. So here are Jez's stats: 30 appearances, 21 starts, 6 goals, 2 assists, decent passing completion, 80%, shot accuracy, 56%. If you follow Sheffield United as Louis and I do, because just a Jez, you know that their manager loves to sub Jez off at 60 minutes. It's like
or sub him on with 25 minutes left.
Or the reverse. So Jez knows what he's going to do. Again, if you get a chance, the lone life on Jez is very interesting to kind of see how he's adapted to life at Sheffield United. Again, he's doing quite well. Again, not getting enough minutes. And again, what I like, and I'll reiterate what Mark Bright says, a good loan is when the player plays. But it comes down to, we don't care if the team gets promoted, gets relegated. If the player is playing, that's a good loan for us. And right now, Jez is having a good loan because he's playing. He's been injured. I got injured, I think, around Christmas, right before. But for the most part, he's playing, and he's playing really well. So big up to Jez. But hopefully he'll continue to kick on. Again, your thoughts on Jez? Again, I'm kind of with you as far as we talk about it. Maybe it's time to sell him. But what are your thoughts on Jez?
How much did we reject for him in the summer? Was it 15 million?
15 from maybe Leeds or someone, or maybe someone
from Southampton.
Oh, Southampton. Yeah.
So with Jez, the reason why I think Glasner doesn't love him is because Glasner's tactics and his ideology on football is very intense. It's pressing, it's fast paced, it's moving the ball quickly, and even in that little YouTube video, they say like sometimes they want to just get Jez and shake him. Like he seems very laid back,
lackadaisical, laid back.
Yeah. That's his personality. But sometimes it can that can be a detriment to you.
I agree.
You have to have. Sometimes it doesn't look like he's got the fire in his belly to want it. I personally think if someone comes in with a similar bid of 15, 16 million, you have to sell him. Like it's pure profit again. That money on a PSR sheet could fund a 25, 30 million pound player. And the wages to other people, and it just all round. This is what we've built the academy for. Some of them got to go, and we've bought Romain Esse. So as much as I would like to see them battle it out and compete in pre-season, I think it might be time for Jez to move on.
Fair enough. And Truth makes a great point here. Why do we buy Esse when we have Jez unless we're going to leave in this summer? I think you're right. I think preseason you might want to see him compete for the spot, but overall you kind of see the writing on the wall with Esse coming in. If Jez was ready, but again, I think Jez might have a small window to make a point in preseason, but you're right. Chances are we're going to sell him. So, and that's it. Animals here. To be fair, Jez kind of looks a little bit sleepy. He does. I'm not at the best of time he does. So,
but I don't like to judge players because that's not, it's not
right.
good. But at the same time, I know there's this whole thing in football. Like even when I play, don't be busy. Oh, you're a busy guy. Like it's cool to be laid back. It's cool to have that swagger. I don't need to. But sometimes it goes a long way to be more intense, to show that you've got a fire inside you. Do you know what I mean? So.
I'll bring this player up now only because he's at Sheffield United too. Not going to spend time on him, but Rob Holding is also there. Not much going on with him. He actually as far as stats go, let me go back real quick. Sorry.
There's no stats. He ain't played.
Exactly. He hasn't played. He's played, but he hasn't. I don't think he started a game there yet. So again, Sheffield United is second in the league again. He's only had one start against Bristol City on 11th of March. But he just hasn't really played that much. So I don't even bring him up because we have a couple of older players we'll touch on very quickly, Lou. But what do you think is going to happen to players like Schlupp, Ahamada?
Well, Schlupp's out of contract. Yeah.
Edouard and Holding. What do you think we'll do with those kind of players?
Well, the signs of a good director of football, technical director, isn't just incomings, it's outgoings.
We ain't got one right now, but
there you go. So that's what it is. A lot of our players are low. Their stocks are low, man. So it's going to be.
So you're saying if you get a chance, just sell him, obviously, right?
I think we've got to try and get as much as we can for everyone. That's it. But there's got to be a clear out.
No issue with that with me. I want to touch on one really good young player, but unfortunately
he's back in training.
Well, I was going to ask you about Asher, who's been out injured. Let me give you his stats really quick, and then we can talk.
How old is he quickly? Is he 19 or 20?
He's 19. He turns 20 this September. So there's a massive upside for this kid. But currently, again, he's injured. But as Louis mentioned, he should be back in training now. Gillingham are struggling. They're 19th in League 2 with 42 points. They're 12 points off of 23rd Morecambe. So I take that back. They actually should be okay for staying in the league, which is good for them. He started 4 straight matches when he went on loan in January. He played against Doncaster, Grimsby, Notts County, and then Barrow, where he got, I believe it was a hamstring injury. Do you have any idea what it was? I think it was a hamstring he got in that game.
He tore his hamstring, or he
right.
I don't think it's a tear because he didn't require surgery, but
a pull though, probably, right?
I think with young players, obviously injuries aren't always, you can't help them, but also a lot of players neglect recovery. They neglect a different side of it, and it's easy for a young player to think, I'm young, I can just play, I can do this. But like I said, sometimes if you're not looking after yourself, if you're not doing the right things all the time, it can be a detriment to your career. So I just hope it's a one-off freak injury, and he's doing all the right things. His recovery, he's just doing everything he can to become a professional footballer because he's got the talent. He's got great talent. He's very raw. I'm guessing he'll go out on loan again, but you're never going to progress until he's 19 going on 20 now. The 20 mark is it's when shit starts to get a bit real. I think it's
Right.
different when you're 17, 18 because you're still really young. But when you start hitting 20, because the peak for players is much younger now. I think like you see the average age of squads in the Premier League, like so some of them are like 24, 25. Not many teams have older squads. So if you're
Right.
still languishing in League Two, lower mid-table teams, it's going to be hard. But I do think he's very, very talented. But like you said, from the academy and watching stuff, I think Hindala Mustafa looks like the most built, ready to make that transition at the moment. But hopefully Asher that can too.
I'd put Asher right there. I did mention Asher during the academy part because he was out on loan, but I saw Asher play in live against Wolves in Maryland. He scored a really nice goal.
Yeah, I remember I stayed up for that.
Yeah, I compare him to. I'm not kidding. I compare him very much to Wilf. He's got a lot of Wilf in him as far as his technical ability.
But Wilf got us promoted at 19.
No, listen, I'm not. Listen,
That's
when I say I compare, yeah. I'm never gonna say okay.
I know stylistically.
Right, stylistically.
Yeah, stylistically. Yeah. But then
I'm not talking about going to the first team and do what Wilf did, because that's you can't
maybe it's harsh because people like how was Morgan Rogers like, but all these players who've become really good, I think they're doing championship loans at about 19, 20. It's championship at minimum or high League One. So like you go through all the players that have kind of broke through. They've had really good seasons in the championship, and then they've made that transition. So yeah, right. I don't think he'll be able to get a championship loan. I don't, because it's quite. I know I was at the game spiritual. It was like 2 minutes. He didn't give Ola Aina any trouble. I was at the game.
Yeah, we wish he did give Ola Aina a hard time, but it was nice to see his debut. So
not many wingers give Ola Aina a tough time.
Exactly. That would be high praise if he did that. So there's that. So let's move on to a few others. Again, I kind of those are the main ones, but I want to go through all the players that are out on loan so people get an idea of how they're doing. So here's Killian Phillips. He's at loan at St. Mirren, defensive midfielder. They're 8th in the SPL. He's 22 years old. He's actually going to turn 23 in next week, March 30th.
When's his contract up?
No, here's the thing. He's actually on loan, but they have a option to buy.
Okay, there you go.
Or obligation rights. So he won't be coming back. I just want to bring him up because they mentioned him in our report. So he's actually having he's a defensive midfielder. He's got 4 goals and an assist. He's playing against Celtic and Rangers. He's not playing. I mean, we all know that Scotland is a 2-team league, but they do have some have players like I'll get a couple others are up there. To have him playing in that league for him is a good thing for him. So again, whatever we get for him, I think will be pure profit. Also playing up in Scotland, by the way, is one Luke Plonge. Remember him?
Yeah, £1 million.
Yeah, Luke's at Motherwell. He signed with them in January. He's played in 4 matches. Hasn't scored a goal yet. He was on loan previously at HJK in Finland. That is Aki Riolati's team. You remember Aki? Yeah. Played Champions League qualification and played Europa League, Conference League. So you get some good experience. Yeah. While he was there, he scored 7 goals and had 2 assists. But Luke's one who will definitely be sold on at some point. I don't see him sticking around. But any thoughts on Luke Plunge?
No, not really.
No, listen. I just wanted to mention him because he's out on loan.
When we wrap up, should we go from top to bottom of 17 players and do keep or sell? Just quick fire.
We want to do that?
Yeah, just quick fire ones, and then we can just do
so real quick. JD Raymond is at Queen's Park, in Scotland, not really playing that much, but I wanted to bring him up. Hello, Twisted, my friend. How are you? I want to do that. That was for Lou.
Big up, Twisted.
Sean Graham is playing it. Went back to Bohemians in Ireland. Playing Jeffrey Schlupp, as we know, is at Celtic. Played Champions League against Michael Olise. He's actually having a really good season up there.
He actually looks good. He actually looks decent.
At left back, which I never would have guessed he'd play at left back. So
it's great on the CV though. Celtic. He's going to get a league title. Probably get a Scottish Cup as well.
Amazing. Last two, Jemiah Omalu. I want to touch on him because he is a young player we got from West Ham.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
Really well.
No. Sorry, that's Chris Francis.
Yeah, I'll get to Chris Francis in a minute, by the way, because I know that he's at Port Vale. They're 6th in League Two. Got a very good chance of going for promotion. Only had 8 appearances, all off the bench, but he does get like literally every match he comes on for the last 10 to 25 minutes. I mentioned him because he came from West Ham. He's only 19, by the way, Lou. That's why I mentioned him. He's young. He's got a decent future. And during the academy year last year, this season, he had 13 goals in 16 matches. He's our top goal scorer.
Yeah, so there you go, man. And it will be good on the CV. No matter what, it won't say sub-apps. It will say 15 appearances for Port Vale and with a promotion. So
exactly,
he'll get a medal as well.
Exactly. So Chris Francis, the one you mentioned, Dean and I laughed about. He came from Bournemouth a couple of years ago. Dean and I did actually a Palace News on him, and he's basically getting red carded for Dagenham Redbridge. That's where his future lies. So, off topic. What is it? Bring back Jeffrey to do what?
His contract's up. He'll probably. I think if he would probably take Celtic, will probably sign him.
I agree. I think they'd be. You know what? He's the same age as my son, which I was shocked. And I'm not trying to say Jeffrey Schlupp is the same age as my son.
Yeah, mine.
Which I didn't realize. Right, exactly, and that's not old. But you think of him being around for so long.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, Jeffrey.
Yeah. So
I think what's he on, like 50, 60 grand here? I think he'll happily take 20 grand, 30 grand somewhere else.
The only player I forgot to mention, is David Ozo. So David Ozo was a loan at Derby County, had a really good loan, got off to a great start. Let me get his stats real quick because I wrote them down. He's 19 years old, by the way, doesn't turn 20 until this May. Played 10 matches, got off to a really good start, and then honestly got injured September 24th, returned the January 25th, and got injured again. And then he's done for the season. We all think that he has a big future, David Ozo, and I think he's one of the ones out there like Asher that we are loaning out, like even Goodman and Whitworth with the future. What do you think about him? Go ahead.
That's what I say. 19 championship. That is, to me,
that is the goal. Yep.
That's potential. That's real potential. To me, that's those are the ones that can really transition it. And he stood out in a poor Derby team as well. And I think T is big on Mustafa, and if we can get, that's again another thing about technical directors and sporting directors is, can you get your players good loans? That's why a lot of players go to Chelsea, because they know from Chelsea you could go anywhere. If you're coming out of Cobham's Academy, you can go Championship, and there's Chelsea players that no one's heard of that's playing in the Championship right now.
Right, you're right. So you want to do the what do you want to call it? Buy, keep, sell. Real quick.
Yeah. But we'll do keep, loan, sell. Keep, loan. No, sell, loan. Yeah,
you're doing it. Loan, so you're doing it.
Just go through this. Just go through them quickly.
Players. Exactly. Real quick. So Joe Whitworth.
Sell.
Owen Goodman.
Keep. No, loan. Another loan.
Put him in the chat too if you want. I'll try and pop him on the screen. Danny Imre.
Sell.
Teo Adamarola.
Sell.
Sean Graham. I did mention Sean Graham.
Sell.
Rob Holding.
Sell.
Jeff Schlupp.
He's out of contract.
Right. Chris Francis.
Sell. Or release.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention Jack Rose Morrison, by the way, is also on loan at Wealdstone, but I didn't mention him because he's not really playing non-league. Yeah. But Jack Rose Morrison, 21.
So Palace fan, I feel bad, but so.
Yeah. Jez Raksaki.
So.
Killian Phillips, well, we all he's already leaving.
Yeah.
Jemiah Omalu.
Keep, another loan.
Asher Agbenoni.
Keep, another loan.
Jaden Raymond.
So
Odson Edward, didn't mention him because he hasn't played.
Sell.
Another one we haven't mentioned. We're not playing at all at Rennes. Basically, is Nairu Ahamada. We'll touch him real quick about him. What do you think? What are your thoughts on him, real quick, though, Lou? Before we get into that, yeah, I mean, I thought he played at Rennes. I don't know.
Sell. It's not working out. It's not. His contract has probably only got 1 year left as well.
David Ozo, obviously
keep loan,
yeah,
or potentially stay with the first team.
And last but not least, Luke Plonge.
Release, sell.
All right. Let me just get a screen before we wrap up. So, well, first, Lou, thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate it. So, everyone in the chat, we appreciate. Come on, Lou, that took too long. Animals.
On what? On who?
All of them. I'm just kidding. I mean, appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Again, I wanted to give you guys a quick loan update. If you're watching on replay, please feel free to drop a like. Really appreciate it. Next week, big week, FA Cup quarterfinal week. We'll be having a preview show for sure. I'm sure deal with the opposition preview. There'll be a match.
We'll probably go live. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said we'll probably do it live the night before, so everyone can settle their nerves on the Friday.
Do that? All right,
after the press conference.
Handball's back, by the way, for the match reaction on Saturday. That should be fun. And Lou and I will have the play ratings probably on Monday, because I believe next Sunday is Mother's Day. We've got to respect the mothers out there. So happy Mother's Day.
Also, if we lose, it could be a bit depressing.
A couple of days to decompress and bring it all in. But really appreciate everybody for watching. Louis, thank you for jumping on. I'm going to go watch the England game. Come on, New England. And until next time, up the Palace.